Hello there, everyone. You know who I'm, E.T. Templar, Alien Crusader from Beyond the Heavens, and originally this was supposed to be a topic in a stream, but I didn't get around to it. So if you guys don't know, the big political news among Republicans in the GOP, Donald Trump has secured the Iowa Caucus, which is pretty big. It's a big indicator of how the party is going to go. And basically, it's a testing of the waters. So Donald Trump has won the Republican caucus in Iowa. This is very huge. It's very telling of how the party is going to move going forward. And this has me reacting like this. But yeah. So another thing that's is so great about this news, and we're gonna get into it. And we're going to react. So MSNBC reacted to this. And how they reacted brings me so much joy. And I'm going to show you guys 1 minute. It is just... Oh, man.
The big picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark.
Right, shut up. You're going to spoil it, Rachel. Oops. Oh, boy. I love this.
The big picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark, as you said, on this, but it is not, if we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country, if we're worried about our democracy.
Was this the same rise of fascism when leftist politicians in other states like California tried to encroach upon religious meetings? Tried to encroach on the church to try and get them to stop church services and to enforce the parishioners to wear masks, as in the state treading upon the holiest of the holies in the church, in the home church, whether you're Catholic, Protestant, and Mormon, that the state tried to dare trespass upon the kingdom of heaven. But no, that's not fascism. That's in the name of public health. So when they're speaking this shit, and she's going to mention, right-wing fanaticism, but not dare mention BLM or Antifa or other violent groups, communists and things like that. They should totally going to gloss over that.
Falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government. The leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation. Mm-hmm. But people wanting that is a much bigger part of that equation. Right. And the American electorate is made up of two major parties. One of those parties has been flirting with extremism on the ultra-right.
But no one on the ultra-left, not communist. People like Destiny, Hassan Piker, and all these assholes who support like BLM and Antifa, extremist groups. But again, Rachel Maddow will not at least be, fair in the point of mentioning that, and try and bring out like olive branch. If it was me, I'd say like there's political extremism and hyperbole among both groups, and we need to see the common ground and realize that fascism and extremism and communism is a threat to our democracy. See, she didn't even do that.
For a very long time, they've brought them in a way that they haven't been central to Republican electoral politics ever before, and I know because I've been studying this. But once you have radicalized one major party so that those are the preferences of the people who adhere to your party, the leader's interchangeable. And yes, Trumpism is sometimes what we call it. Mm-hmm. MAGA movement is probably a better way to do it. But there is an authoritarian movement inside Republican politics that isn't being bamboozled by Trump. Mm-hmm. They are pushing Trump to get more and more extreme, because the more extreme things he says, the more they adhere to him. And that is coming from a very large proportion of the American right that adheres to the Republican Party. And that's why this is a Republican Party problem more than it is the problem of one man and his
and
And they're so mad. They're so fucking scared because their attempts to tamper within right-wing politics and even right-wing extremism with Nikki Haley, with DeSantis, and not so much DeSantis. DeSantis is kind of his own man, but Nikki Haley is a snake in the grass, or should I say, what's her real name? Nimrata Randhawa. So if she can't even be honest and upfront with her name, about her history and her parents being Indian and Sikh. If you can't trust yourself with your name and where you're from to identify with the American people aren't going to trust you. So she's already lying. She already said that Hillary Clinton empowered her to go into politics. She's taken money from BlackRock. She's taken money from Democrat donors. The elite on the left and the neocons were hoping Nikki Haley would steal the heart of the party. But the heart of the party is resolute. The heart of the party, the MAGA Republicans, the Ultra MAGA, cannot be moved. They smell the bullshit. They smell this dirty money. And they didn't buy it one bit. And what this reveals, this Iowa Caucus and Trump winning it, reveals how party's going to move forward. Now the Never-Trumpers are going to have to shut the fuck up and fall in line. And anyone else is going to have to fall in line, because what's the alternative? What, you're not going to show up and vote on voting day? Which you cannot really risk with the shenanigans going on with polling stuff. Now, I can't mention too much because we're here on this fucking platform, YouTube. So we can't even dare cover the truth of that. But seeing these people be so scared brings joy to my heart. Because, again, these are same people who tried to dare trespass upon the kingdom of heaven. When they tried to mandate churches wear masks, they tried to mandate that churches not have meetings or religious services. It's purely antichrist and fascist in nature, but of course, it's only fascism when it involves right-wing politics. If it's anything else left of center, all of a sudden it's beneficial, it's democracy, it's goodness and rainbows and unicorns and shit, quite literally. So again, this just brings so much joy to my heart to see these people scared. Because, again, what does the left have? Are they going to run with Biden again? A guy that shits his fucking pants? A guy whose brains is literally mashed potatoes? A man who gets confused on the stage and can't exit a stage? This is the guy they're going to run with again? And look, regardless of what happened at the election, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, they can't do that again, or it'll be too obvious. So they're in deep shit. They want to run Gavin Newsom. He's refused. And they're not going to have Pete Buttigieg run it, even though Buttigieg would probably be a better candidate. He's younger, so they could have some interesting stuff to do with that. But I don't think Michelle Obama's going to get involved. But 2024 elections are going to be interesting if they don't get totally suspended. There's rumors and whispers in the shadows in the corner and through the grapevine that this election might be suspended. But they're terrified that we will put the king back on the throne, and we will put Trump back in the White House, and order will be restored, and peace will reign again, and they won't be able to make their money off of foreign wars. They won't be able to cash in on the Ukraine-Russia borscht wars. And they're terrified. And they're terrified that their plot and their usurpation with Nikki Haley failed. And the Never-Trumpers, again, failed. The neocons, the elites, failed with Nikki Haley. And again, so 2024 is just going to be really interesting. And the funny thing about this is Nikki Haley was talking so much shit, saying she wished she could debate Trump. Trump didn't even need to debate this witch. And he took Iowa, whole-handedly. He didn't even have to debate or defend himself against this swamp witch. And anyways, a little bit more political than normal, I apologize, but this shit is going to be interesting, to say the least.